Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt finally have reached a divorce settlement after 8 years. 8 years. All right. Put up the picture full mass. A lot of twists and turns here. Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt have finally reached a divorce settlement. Her lawyer said Monday, bringing an apparent end to one of the longest and most contentious divorces in Hollywood history. Jolie is 49. Pitt is 61. Were among Hollywood's most prominent couples for 12 years. The two Oscar winners have 6 children together. Jolie filed for divorce in 2016 after private jet flight from Europe, during which she said Pitt was abusive toward her and their children. A judge in 2019 declared them divorced and single, but the splitting of assets and child custody needed to be separately settled. A private judge that the two had hired to handle the case reached a decision soon after that included equal custody of their children, but Jolie filed to have him removed from the case over an unreported conflict of interest. An appeals court agreed. The judge was removed and the couple had to start over. Let me remind you of the abuse allegations. The FBI and the Los Angeles County Department of Children and Family Services launched an investigation into Pitt and the in-flight altercation soon after. In her divorce filing that month, Jolie listed the day after the alleged incident as the date of the couple's separation. The Bureau closed this investigation later that year. No charges were brought against Pitt. He was also cleared of child abuse allegations by LA's Department of Children and Family Services. Now, you may wonder, why was the FBI involved? Because the allegation was that the abuse took place on a plane. Well, that plane covered multiple state jurisdictions. And so when that happens, instead of getting all separate agencies involved based on a trajectory of the flight pattern, the FBI can cover multi-jurisdictions at one time. In July, Pitt sought to dismiss Jolie's request for his private communications regarding the family plane ride, calling the demand a, quote, serious intrusion that went beyond the details of their family trip. In an October 2022 filing referencing the incident, Jolie's lawyers alleged Pitt, quote, grabbed Jolie by the head and shook her, and then grabbed her shoulders and shook her again before pushing her into the bathroom wall during a flight from the couple's Chateau Miraval winery in France to Cali. The suit claimed Pitt started deriding Jolie and with insults, and when one of the kids defended the mother, the actor, quote, lunged at his own child, and Jolie grabbed him from behind to stop him. Pitt then threw himself backwards into the airplane seats, injuring Jolie's back and elbow, the suit added. Let's put him up. Jolie claimed in an April legal filing, that Pitt's abuse started well before. That's an exact quote from the allegation. The alleged 2016 incident. Pitt and Jolie's children made headlines earlier this year after they began to petition a removal of the word Pitt, the name Pitt, from their names. Last year, Jolie's son wrote his Father's Day post about Brad, quote, happy Father's Day to this world-class a-hole. He wrote over a photo of Pitt receiving an Oscar award. You time and time again proved to be a terrible and despicable person. You have no consideration or empathy toward your 4 youngest children who tremble in fear when in your presence. Pax continued. You have made the lives of those closest to me a constant hell. You may tell yourself and the world whatever you want, but the truth will come to light someday. So happy Father's Day, you effing awful human being, he concluded. No details of the agreement were immediately revealed, and the couple's use of the private judge, an increasingly common move among splitting celebrities in recent years, has kept the proceedings largely under wraps. Some details, however, have been revealed through a separate lawsuit filed by Pitt, in which he alleged Jolie reneged on an agreement that she would sell him half of the French winery that the two own together. It's not clear how the divorce agreement will affect that particular lawsuit. All right. There's a lot of twists and turns here. I will tell you this. It is rare. It is very, very rare when all of the children have such a, let's just say, disdain for one parent. And I will submit as a dad, our children are our mirrors if we're willing to accept it. If we're willing to accept it, children will make you better if you understand who and what they are. And our job is to give them love, to say I'm sorry when we're wrong, and to lead and guide them in a way that is congruent to a higher self, not a lower self. All right, Sharon, thoughts here.
Again, I thank you. You're a good father, and I have a good father who I'm very close to. But there was a time when my sisters, three girls, me included, we'd haze my father. And I even faxed a letter to his secretary one day. How embarrassing, because I was mad at him for whatever reason. Looking back as an adult, it was because my parents were divorced and I wanted my dad in the home. Okay? You have to allow for children to grow. Dear Pax, we know you're not lying. We believe you. I am closer to my father today than I have ever been and have always remained close throughout my entire life, because children don't lie. You understand? They don't lie. You know that, Doc. You have to have sometimes unfairly things said to you, I'm sure, as a father, because you have a daughter and I am one. So I thank you, Angelina Jolie, for pursuing this. This is not about revenge or a woman scorned. And more people need to understand that. You need to please, Doc, give some fatherhood talks, because I think you can convert some men.
Well, we try, right? Through example primarily, but absolutely through conversation when invited. All right, we'll bring you updates. I guess the last thing is, Brad Pitt is worried about the winery sale. All right, so we'll see what happens.